news. Go ahead, Richard.
Cheers, Danny. Joe, good to see you. Congratulations. We'll concentrate on this series particularly in a second, but when you look back over the summer and two test series being staged, back-to-back wins, how proud are you of what this group have achieved?
Really proud. I think it's been a fantastic effort from the whole squad, from the management, the support staff, and of course the players, to be able to perform as we have done in this environment. It's been really pleasing, and to be stood here having won both series, feels like we are continuing that trend of improving as a team, and couldn't be happier with that.
And what about Jimmy Anderson? Because this was the day that was built up to be 600 test wickets. The catch went to you at the end. He's just said on Sky that he was quite pleased it went to you. What does that mean to you and to everyone involved with him?
It's huge. I was panicking big time, having seen those other four go down beforehand. I didn't want to be the next one to let him down. So it was really pleasing to see that go in, and to be able to enjoy that moment with him on the field. I think everyone really felt how special it was out there. He's just there's no one that can touch him really. He's that far ahead of everyone else in my opinion. It's incredible what he's done so far in the game, and he's much more than just the wickets that you see on the telly. He's a brilliant senior player, adds a lot to the dressing room, and with the young bowlers as well, you couldn't ask for a better role model and someone to learn off. So couldn't be happier for him.
A word about his longevity as well, because fast bowling is meant to be the most difficult skill in the business. He's 38 years old, and he clearly feels that he's still got some years left in it.
Yeah, and I think it was nice I obviously spoke to him before he did this, but it was nice of him to get out there and do that media release he did at Old Trafford. It shows how much he still wants to give to the game and to this team, and this week you've just seen what he's still capable of, and I can see that continuing for a long time to come yet. So it's brilliant to see someone with that determination and drive as a role model to the rest of the group as well. Even at the stage he's at in his career, the determination and effort that he still puts in, and the way he commits himself to the group is brilliant.
And he's just said as well that he feels he can continue bowling in any conditions, but is there a responsibility on you and the selectors to manage him now and how you use him to get as much as you can out of him?
Yeah, as with every other bowler within the squad, and you look at, we don't know what the future looks like in terms of Test cricket right now, with nothing set in stone. So I think when it does happen, it could happen thick and fast, and there could be a lot of games. So a bit like this summer, we're going to have to be quite smart and shrewd about how we do manage players' workloads. And he fits in with the rest of the guys in terms of making sure that they're able to perform at their best as often as possible. And we'll balance that with picking the best 11 for any given conditions and surface.
And finally, from me, Joe, you got Jimmy at one end of the spectrum, Zach Crawley starting out on what he hopes will be a long, successful Test career on the other. Fantastic game for him. Fantastic
game, yeah. You watch how he operates around the group, and for such a young guy, at times you think he's 40 years old, the way he holds himself. He's quite an old 22-year-old, and I thought the maturity in the way he played this week was fabulous, really. It was very smart how he countered the different styles of bowling, and for such a young guy to play in that manner for such a long period of time shows great amount of concentration, obviously, but skill as well, against a very talented bowling group. So really proud of him, and hopefully it can be a big launching pad for him and is the start of something really special.
Thanks, Joe.
No problem.
Cheers, Richard. We'll go with Rory from Press Association, please.
Joe, do you ever wonder what it'd be like to sort of turn around in a big game and not have Jimmy or Brodie there to throw the ball to? It's the time will come one day when an England captain might not have that luxury.
It might, but thankfully I don't have to worry about that right now. So I won't until that is the case.
And with yourself, I saw your name was in the hat for a Vitality Blast game in about 48 hours. Does that mean you've got some Aussies in your sights?
I don't know. That's completely out of my hands. I just want to make the most of this summer. I want to play as much cricket as I can, and it'd be lovely to play some 2020 cricket, whether that's for Yorkshire or for England. I want to play and make the most of the cricket that's available. So looking forward to the opportunity to get out there and hopefully score some runs.
Okay, we'll go with Dean Wilson, please.
Hi Joe, well played this summer. Just on Jimmy, there'll be a lot said and written about his bowling and his qualities as a bowler, but just as a sort of friend and teammate, someone you've been playing with for a number of years, what's kind of your overriding sort of opinion of him and what he brings?
I think he's a class act, to be honest. I think what you see on the field is not necessarily him as a person and him as a member of our squad. At times he can come across quite grumpy on the field, but that's very different to what we see in the dressing room. He's a very caring bloke that wants everyone else to do well around him, and feeds that through the young bowlers as well. He's very willing to sit and talk and share his experience and knowledge about the game. And he's not someone that will demand attention all the time. He's sort of quite happy to sit in the background, and he's quite quiet. But he's definitely willing to get into the young lads and give them as much as he can. Offer out is what his experience within Test cricket, and hopefully add to what we have. Well, add to some very talented young players already.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go with Will McPherson and Stefan Shelmett.
Joe, you've played Test cricket for nearly 8 years, and it's been a sort of relentless stream of games. You're at a cliff edge at the moment where there's no cricket scheduled at the end of this Test match. How are you going to manage that and manage your squad and the progress you've been making and try and continue that upward curve despite actually just having no idea when you're next going to play?
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge, and it's something that we will make sure that we try and get exactly right. I think it's very hard to have too much put in place until we know what cricket is going to be available to us. And I think for a number of the guys, they'll want to have a little bit of a break now before some will want to get back into the county game. Some will want to have a little bit of a rest, especially some of the seamers. And, it's going to be important that whenever it is that we get the opportunity to play again, we have some form of cricket before that. And there are plans starting to come together, but until things are slightly more set in stone in terms of a schedule, we'll have to sort of wait and see. And a bit like leading into when we met up in the bubble, there'll be a lot of responsibility put on individual players to make sure that they're managing themselves, their fitness, their own games as best as possible.
Are you and the group more grateful than ever before for what you do after this?
We've all generally, I'd like to think I'm very grateful anyway of getting the opportunity to play cricket for a living, but it's definitely really hit home this summer. He's sit back at the start of it and potentially not play a game was quite a fright, really. So to be sat here having won 2 series, really proud of the group of players, and also extremely thankful for both teams coming over and being a part of our summer, and to everyone as well involved in setting up the bubble and making it what it has been.
Okay, Stefan, please.
Hi, Joe. Just on the subject of the bubble, there was so much chat before these matches began about how important they were for, say, the finances of English cricket. But actually, how important have they been for the development of your side? And where are you now compared to where you were at the start of the season, saying your goal to being the best side in the world?
Well, I think to be sat here having won both series is a brilliant achievement for the group. I think throughout the bubble environment, actually, it's been really good to get a closer look at some of the guys that are on the periphery of the squad. Right at the start of things, it was great to have that competition for places. The trial game, I think, was a big success, and we learned a lot about a number of the guys that we hadn't necessarily seen at international level before. And as well, you look at how we played in South Africa, how we were shaping up in Sri Lanka, and I think we carried that forward into the rest of the summer when we finally got the opportunity to get out there. That young guys have continued to keep improving and to show their worth within the squad, and that they are capable of doing special things in an England shirt. And as well, we've seen some very special individual performances as well from senior players, and that they are hungry to continue to keep playing and to keep driving this team forward. And when you've got a blend like that, it's a really nice place to be. So the thing that I'm really pleased of and proud of and excited about is the environment that we have in the dressing room. And that sounds a bit corny and a bit cheesy, but the attitude that the guys have in terms of how they want to get better, how they want to improve and learn about the game, even the senior guys, is what I think gives us a great opportunity to get to that number one spot down the line. And the fact that we know that we're not the best team in the world right now, but we have all of the ingredients if we can continue to keep getting better, keep learning from our mistakes, and when we get it right too, then in time we will be consistently competing with the very best, and hopefully that's something that we can sustain for a long period of time.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we're done. If you want to stay on the line, I'm going to try and bring Jimmy in sooner rather than later. But thanks, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Joe.
Thank you very much.
Jimmy, first of all, congratulations. Fantastic achievement. What went through your mind as you saw the catch going to Joe?
Well, I mean, I was just hoping and praying that it stuck, to be honest. Been a frustrating couple of days with slip catches. But yeah, I mean, a bit of surprise they actually found the edge on a flat wicket with an old ball. But just, yeah, delighted that it's the catch stuck. And yeah, really, I don't really know how to describe it. It was felt a little bit emotional out there. Very proud and happy that I could celebrate it with my good mates.
600 wickets for any bowler, let alone a seam bowler at Test level, is a phenomenal achievement. You'll be aware of the Fred Truman quote all those years ago. When you've seen the montage and you've got the memories of that first wicket against Zimbabwe way back in 2003, is there any one thing that springs to mind, or is it almost overwhelming?
Well, the first thing that springs to mind is how bad my haircuts were over the years. That's it's just inexcusable, really, and I'm a bit disappointed with that. But to be honest, I'm just delighted that I've managed to play for as long as I have and enjoy some success with playing the sport I love, really, and doing what I love. I've worked really hard on my skills over the years, and I'm fortunate enough that I get to do it at the top level, playing for my country. And I just feel very fortunate and privileged that I've been able to do that for a long period of time. And as I said, looking back, that first test, I'd never have thought I'd get anywhere near 600 test wickets. So I'm absolutely over the moon.
I mean, obviously, you'd have loved fans to be inside the stadium. You'd have loved your family to be there on hand to witness it as well. But when you're out there sharing these moments with teammates, with friends, you look up to the stands and see ex-players that you've played and shared experiences with. How much does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, it means a huge amount. Joe taking the catch. I've played loads of Test cricket with Joe. Stuart Broad being out there. I was fortunate enough to be out on the field for his 500th wicket. That meant a lot to both of us. Sharing these moments means a lot to everyone, really. It's just, again, I'm struggling for the words, really. what I love about playing cricket is sharing these moments. You know, seeing Zach Crawley, a young lad, score 267 is just phenomenal, and makes you feel privileged to actually be in the ground and see something like that. You know, the amount of skill and the temperament on show from such a young guy. And I think everyone feels like that. We've built a sort of culture in this group that's what we want to share in people's successes. We want to see people doing well, performing at the top level, and we're getting somewhere towards that this summer. I think we've shown that we've got a decent squad, decent depth of players that can do it.
And physically, are you feeling as well as ever? You know, people will say, how long can you go on for bowling at this level as a fast bowler? Do you have to be cute about how you manage yourself?
Yeah, I'm sure in the future I have to be a little bit wise about, you know, which games I play and which I don't. And that's something for the selectors, the coach, the captain, and the medical team to help as well. You know, it's not just me saying I'll play this one and not that one. It's, you know, it's something that we'll try and discuss what is best for the team and best for me, I guess. But it's the same. I mean, throughout this summer, it's the same with all the bowlers. We want to try and be careful. We want to play the best team, but want to be careful of managing workloads. And I think, you know, to be honest, all I can do is try and stay as fit as I possibly can, which I'll keep working on that in the next few weeks and months. We're not sure when the next test match will be, so it's just a case of trying to keep fit and hopefully we'll get in the nod when that test comes around.
Well, congratulations once again on reaching this landmark. Cheers for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, Rory and then Dean, please.
Hi, Jimmy. Well done.
Thank you.
Some of the guys in the team were 5 and 6 when you walked out at Lord's for that first time.
Yeah.
When we speak to them about you, the younger lads, they say they grew up idolising you, that you were their hero. What's it like being in a dressing room where the guys sort of treat you with that reverence, or does it not translate to how they deal with you?
It definitely doesn't translate. I don't get treated like that at all. To be honest, I'm the butt of most of the jokes in the dressing room, I think, with my age. But we've got a really good group of guys at the minute. You know, it's been a difficult or a strange sort of summer being in this bubble, spending a lot of time together, and we've got a really good group of guys, and it's been it's a pleasure to work with them for the last few months. And I think going forward, we're stood in really good stead with the young guys coming through. They want to learn, they want to improve, they want to play at the top level, they want to have success. And I think that's only going to help English cricket.
Dean, please.
Hi, Jimmy. Congrats on the landmark. I think you probably get asked this every time you take 100 wickets, but is there one that you can kind of look back over the 600, a batsman that you're perhaps most pleased to have had their number?
A batsman?
Yeah.
Not really. I think you always like getting the good players out, I guess, the best players from the opposition. So whenever I've done that, I guess. It's not something I really think about or dwell on, to be honest. It's always, I'm always trying to think about the whoever you're playing next and how are you going to get them out. I don't really dwell on wickets or watch any wickets back, so it's not something I've really got a good answer for, Dino. I'm sorry.
It's pretty standard for my questions. The other thing, when we spoke to Zach Crawley after he got his 100, he said that his sort of career up to now had kind of flashed before his eyes in terms of it made it feel all worthwhile. The extra net sessions, the gym sessions, all the effort that he'd put in to get there, getting the 100 made it all worthwhile. Is that a similar kind of feeling for you? 600 wickets, can you kind of look back over the highs and the lows, the tough times, the stress fracture, etc.? It's all been worth it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, the more you play, the more you realise you go through difficult periods in your career, and it makes you appreciate the good times a lot more. And certainly, even in this last few weeks, I've struggled a little bit. I've not enjoyed parts of this summer. I've struggled with not being able to switch off. Waking up, opening your curtains, and the cricket ground's right there again. It just feels it did feel a little bit tough at times for me. I don't want to, not looking for sympathy or anything. I'm just saying it how it is. But that made me appreciate. Just made me work harder this last couple of weeks on my technique, and thankfully or frustratingly as well, I felt in great rhythm this week, as good as I have done for a while. And yeah, frustrating because I'm not sure when the next test match is going to be. So it's one of those things. But happy with getting to this milestone, and happy with the results this summer as well. Winning both test series, I think we're absolutely delighted with.
Cheers, yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
Stefan, next, please.
Hi, Jimmy. You just said that you were working hard, and I think on the radio you said you were frustrated that the summer's coming to an end because you're feeling good rhythm. What more can you go on to achieve from here?
Who knows? We're still in this Test Championship. Still series ahead of us, games of cricket, Test matches to win. That's all I'm interested in at the minute. I love, still love turning up every day, training, putting in the hard yards, being in the dressing room with the lads, putting the yards in the game as well, and trying to forge a win for England, really. And that's all I really have ever bothered about, and that's what I'll keep trying to do. And I don't think I've won my last Test matches in England cricket yet, so I'll keep working hard. As I said, we don't know when the next Test match is going to be, but I'll keep working hard in the gym and keep myself fit and available for selection.
700?
Why not?
Any more, please?
Yeah, could I?
Yeah, go ahead, George.
Thank you. So I was just going to ask about Australia. I mean, is it even at the back of your mind, the idea that it's only just over a year, isn't it, that you could be in Sydney at the end of the series, having got Steve Smith out 8 times and won the Ashes back for England? Is that the dream at all at the back of your mind?
I've not thought about it in that much detail, to be honest, George. But to be honest, I've chatted to Ruti about this a little bit, and he said he would like me to be in Australia. I don't see any reason why I can't be. I'm working hard on my fitness all the time. I'm working hard at my game, and I feel like as I said, I didn't bowl as well as I would have liked for the whole summer, but this Test match I felt like I was really on it, and I feel like I've still got stuff to offer this team. And as long as I feel like that, I think I'll keep going. There'll be decisions along the way where, with the selectors and the coach and the captain, etc., about how the team moves forward. But as long as they want me around, I'll keep working hard and try and prove that I'm good enough to play in this team.
Brilliant. Thank you. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we're done. Yeah, okay. Brilliant. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Cheers, Danny.
Thanks, Danny.